99% of people overlook these three things. Once you understand these three things, your credit score will never be the same. So, as you're waiting these 35 days, there are some things you should be doing as you're waiting. But since you're waiting, I want to share some wins of people who leverage this information to knock the credit bureaus out. All right. So in the community right here, the credit circle, what we have is the wins of people. And I'm gonna go over some few wins of the people who got results. All right, so as you can see right here, we got some wins, right? Now this client right here, this person got a 327 point increase in 30 days by leveraging the information, okay? As you can see, 90 point increase, 132 point increase on this score, and 105 point increase on TransUnion, right? And the reason why is because they got their bankruptcy deleted off of their credit report, which improved their credit score, as you can see, tremendously. Now here's another person that leveraged the information. So by sheer luck, I came across Davis, and on April 23rd, I was interested, but was for sure wouldn't help me. Immediately, I was skeptical. The next day, I watched some more and printed out my reports. It was terrible. I had 10 bad non-collection altogether. It seemed overwhelmed to me. I decided the next year or so would come and go no matter what. So I tried it. There's so much to be said. It's a lot. But in 15 months, I went from a 515 to a 779 credit score. It takes time and patience, but if you hang on, it can happen. It isn't magic. It isn't overnight. Patience was key, and now I'm here nearing a 800 credit score. I messaged Dave last night to thank him for all he gave for others and wanted to share this. It can be done. Take it one account at a time on your report, and you can get there. So, as you can see, man, this is amazing. I have been trying to fix my credit since April, stumbled across Dave's YouTube, and since May, I've gotten multiple deletions, but my score up and down. 3 negatives accounts still remain: Navy Fed, Amex, and Cavalry, which has been giving me the most problem. But finally, I'm so excited to share some great news. By using the secret letter method, dispute the inaccuracies, use the Metro 2 code and the law, escalated to the Attorney General. We're gonna be talking about that. If not deleted, well, one of the three has successfully been removed in 15 to 30 days. American Express, thank you, Dave. The process works, things happen, but we're gonna be talking about different things on how you can get these accounts removed from your credit report. I'm gonna be breaking down if you wanna join the community. It's completely free to join the community, but the classes you do have to pay for, okay? So as you're waiting these 35 days, the next thing you want to do is understand what you need to be doing to improve your credit score. So in order to improve your credit score, you have to understand what makes up your credit score. And I'm going to break this down in the point system. All right. So the FICO score, what most banks look at, is broken down into 5 different factors. Okay. Payment history, you have amounts owed, you have average age, you have credit mix, you have new accounts, right? That makes up your credit score. Now, if we break this down into the point system, so the highest credit score you can have right now with a FICO score is an 850. All right, FICO 8, most banks look at 850. Now, things gonna change probably from now that FICO score might be a little bit higher, a little bit lower. Things might change, but for right now, FICO 8, most banks, credit unions are using, right? So 850 is the highest credit score you can have. The lowest credit score you can have is a 300. Like, it's crazy for a person to have a 300 credit score, but that's the range, right? So if you do 850 minus 300, that means you have 550 points to technically play with when it comes to your credit score. So if you do the math behind this, right, payment history is 35%. So if you do 0.35, what we learned in school, right, 0.35 times 550, that gives you 192.5 points in this specific category. So if you ever miss a payment, if you ever are late when it comes to your credit, or of course if you're on time, this is the factor it affects of your credit score. So if you get a late payment, it affects this part of your credit score, okay? Now, utilization is 30% of your credit score, amounts owed. So if you do 0.30 times 550, that gives you 165 points, okay? Average age, that is the age of all the accounts, the average of it, That's 0.15, and you times that by 550, that is 82.5. And I'm gonna show you different ways to affect each area so you can get extra 25, 50, 100 points, depending on what you have going on with your credit profile. We're gonna be talking about that later on. But right now, I just want you to understand the different factors, the point system, what makes up your credit score, so you can understand what you need to do to improve your credit score, all right? So credit mix is 10%. 10 times 550 is 55 points, right? New accounts, 0.10 times 550 is 55 points, all right? So credit mix. Credit mix, you wanna have revolving accounts and you wanna have installment accounts. So revolving accounts consist of credit cards, your charge cards, your store cards. Those what our revolving accounts are, okay? That category. Now, installment accounts is student loans, a personal loan, a car loan, a home loan. Those are considered installment accounts. So now you understand the difference between revolving accounts and installment accounts. These are the different type of things you want to make up of your profile. Now, new accounts is clear, but when you have new accounts, that also affects your age. So you don't want to consistently open up new accounts every single time. But new account / hard inquiries, as you know, if you add a new account on your credit profile, it helps your credit score, all right? But you don't, as you're helping, it also affects the average age of your credit score. So even though adding a new account also affects the age. So you don't want to be opening up a new account every 3 months, right? You want to, wait. So every now and then you want to open up a new account when it comes to your credit profile, okay? And one of the best things you can do is, if you think about it like this, you can also leverage business credit, right? You can open up a new account, but instead of opening up on your personal credit, you can open up on your business credit. So you can open up a business credit card, but it's not, you'll get a hard inquiry on your personal credit, but that comes off in 2 years, but you won't affect the age of your credit score. So now you're making your personal credit look really good, and you're building up your business credit, and you can use those business credit cards, and it won't affect the utilization of your personal. So as you know, if you max out a business credit card, it's not going to report on your personal. Well, some of them do, but we'll talk about that. But most business credit cards don't report on your personal credit score, okay, or your personal profile. So I just want you to understand what you want to be doing, understanding the system, understanding what accounts you need. So as you look at your credit profile, right, do you have revolving accounts? Do you have installment accounts? If you do have revolving accounts, you really don't need to add a new revolving account on your profile. You just need to take care of the one that you have, right? If you don't have an installment account, all right, you don't have to add it just yet, because maybe you're looking to buy a house and that is considered an installment account. Or maybe you're trying to get a new car and that's considered an installment account. All right, so you don't have to add an installment account just yet. You just want to look at your profile and focus on the things that you already have that you need to fix. Now, if you don't have no credit at all, or if you have everything that's negative, that is bad on your credit profile, then of course you want to add some accounts on your profile to improve your credit score. So we're going to be talking about a different type of accounts that are out there that you can add on your credit profile that will help you. All right. I just want you to be open up in all these different accounts. So you'll be like, man, I got to manage this account. I got to manage this account. Then I forgot about this account, and it came late, and you back at to where you are now. So let's focus on what you already have. Let's fix that before we start adding all these different accounts on our profile. Now, I'm going to show you some accounts you can add on your profile if you don't have no accounts at all. All right. And I'm also going to be talking about different things as well. But most importantly, another thing you want to understand that is, if you want to get an extra 50 points, 100 points, I'm going to show you some ways to do this. But before we talk about this, I want you to understand this, that credit is credibility. And credit is nothing but a direct reflection of how we manage our money. You know, life might have happened, things happen. Not here to judge. No judge zone, because I managed my money really bad. I didn't know all these different things. Now I'm getting better. Well, gotten better as far as managing my money. And I want to help you as well, so you can understand how you can manage your money so you can take care of what you need to take care of. So one of the best ways you can leverage that or do that is by leveraging artificial intelligence. So one of the things you can do right now is pull an account statement, right, of your banking history. And then what you want to do is put this prompt right here. Here's my salary and bills, right? So you'll tell ChatGPT, right? Here's my salary of $5,000, $6,000 a month, and bills of whatever, how much is your bills, all right? And then you can also have your account statement and say, hey, find the bills or different things. But you could talk about the different bills that you have already and let it know that, all right, I pay this, I pay this, I pay this. And here's my account statement. You can upload your account statement as well. You can print off a PDF and you can upload that. Build a zero-based budget I can actually follow. Every dollar has a purpose. No disappearing money. So you want to see where all your money is going. You might be like, man, I spent money on this. I spent money on this. I spent money on this. Oh, what am I doing? Like you get to see, it's nothing. Hey, it's a reflection of how you see where all your money is going, and you're gonna be upset. I was just like that. I saw that money was going here. I'm like, dang, I'm spending money on this. I don't even use this. I'm spending money on this system. I don't even use this. I got this subscription. I don't really use this. Like you got to start seeing all the different money going to different places that you really don't use. I'm tripping. So do that. The next prompt, I got you. Walk you through step by step on how to do this. So the next prompt is this right here. Split my income using the 50-30-20 rule based on my real numbers. Practical budgeting, not just theory, okay? Now, when it comes to budgeting, I know most people are like, man, I gotta budget my money. It's not like I can't do certain things. It's more of you understanding where your money is going. Like you understand your money is going to this bill, your money is going to take care of this, your money is taking care of this. All right, I have this amount of money left over. I can, do this. I can do this. You just having a plan for your money. That's basically what budgeting is, all right? Having a plan for your money. Because if you don't have a plan for your money, hey, your money gonna have a plan for itself. And when it starts sitting there, you can be like, yo, I can spend money on this and this and this, but you really just wanna have a plan for your money, all right? Now, the next prompt, write me a 10-minute weekly money check-in routine I can stick to. Small habit, big results, right? So you want to have something that you can stick to, because I know there's a lot of information out there and they tell you to do this and they tell you to do that and they tell you to do this. And that's based off of probably many different people's circumstances, but your circumstance might be totally different and you might not able to do certain things that they're talking about. So let's create a budget based off of what you have going on, what you can do on a month-to-month basis, so you can stick to it. So you can save, if you only save $1, or let's just say $10 per paycheck, at least you're consistent saving at $10. Then over time, you're like, all right, I can save $15, and then eventually $20, and then eventually $30, $40, $50 every single month. But you can't get there until you actually look at where your money is at, look at where your money is going, understanding that, hey, my money is doing all these different things, but I really don't have a plan for it. And I want you to have a plan for your money, because you work really hard to learn the different skills, to do the different things, to get up, go to work, and do all these different things. And you look at the end of the month, I'm like, man, dang, where did all my money really go? All right. And then every year you be like, man, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna try this, and then it fails within the first month. No failing no more. We're gonna have a plan, we're gonna do this, we're gonna win. All right. So hit the like button if you haven't hit it, and we winning, right? So the next prompt, create a debt payoff plan using the debt snowball method. Knock out small payments first, right? So you also want to take care of your debt, right? So if you have some things that you want to take care of, if you have accounts that you need to take care of, you want to take care of it, all right? It happened, life happened, whatever the case may be, but you can take care of these small credit card debts, and then eventually you don't have no debt, right? And then you're leveraging, let's just say, for an example, one of the ideas that you might have, or one of the things that you want to do, is start a business, or you already have a business. As you're making more money, right, you can take some of that money and take care of your debt. I don't want you to get back in debt, but most importantly, I want you to understand what happened and what you can do next and have a plan moving forward. And everybody has different things that they want to accomplish, but most importantly, I will tell everybody to go travel and see the world. Now, that's the reason why, not to run on, but that's the reason why I joined the military or the Navy, especially is I got the opportunity to go different places that, man, I would never had thought to go to, but most importantly, I didn't have the money to go to, but I got to go completely for free because of the Navy, and allowed me to go so many different places and see so many different things, and it was amazing. All right, now prompt number 7. Let's turn this into a monthly system I won't burn out on. All right, no stress, just steady progress. As you can see, like I said before, I want you to be able to do this on the paycheck to paycheck, where you understand that, hey, based on what my circumstances, I can be able to do this and not burn out. And I'm able to budget my money. I'm able to have a plan for my money. I'm able to do everything I need to do to get my money, my finances in order, my credit, right? Because like I said before, credit is nothing but a direct reflection of how you manage your money. Once you start fixing how you manage your money, you're going to start fixing your credit. And as you're making a little bit more money, you're going to be able to take care of more of that debt. And I'm not telling you to do all this extra stuff, but if you're like, man, I want to do more, you can do more. But I want you to be consistent first, right? Let's build out the foundation first. And then if you want to do more, you can do more without burning out of taking care of your finances, taking care of debt, okay? And if you and your wife, or if you're single, or if you're married and you're watching this, you and your wife, come up with a plan, a game plan to, if you're in debt, to get out of debt, or come up with a game plan to put money away, to save money for, the future. Put money away to like, all right, I'm gonna have this trip this year or next year. Put money away to like, I'm gonna have a plan, like I said, a plan for your money to like, all right, put my kids through these certain things. Just have a plan. All right. Now, the next thing we want to do is understand this. You don't need more income. You need a system that works. Prompt smart, repeat often, and watch things change. All right. Like I said before, you don't have to, like I said, go make more money first. What you need to do is just figure out what you have now, take care of that, see what you got to do, and have a plan for everything when it comes to your finances, when it comes to your money. Yes, it might be boring. Yes, it might be like, man, you see what you're spending money on, but you're only going to be able to fix the things if you actually look at it, all right? And I just want to help you through that process. Now that you understand these 3 things, what's very important right now is learning how to force Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax to remove those negative items off your credit report. And I'm going to show you how to do it completely for free from round 1 all the way to round 12, so you'll know exactly what to do. So all you got to do is watch this video right here, and I explain the whole entire process.